Hey YouTube, this is the Arc of Truth again. I am Noah Mian. I'm here to report actually two stories that I just learned about from another fellow YouTuber called Styx Hexenhammer. I'm sure you guys may have heard of him. In fact, he pretty much has a way big way big um audience than I do, which is well, to be fair, just starting. Anyway, um, there are two things. One, today there was some news that Trump intentionally um gave the Russians classified information. I honestly, I'm just gonna say it. I don't believe it's true. It just seems so stupid. The whole narrative of the Russians just meddling in the affairs of the election and even just influencing Donald Trump's campaign has become way overused, and despite the fact that, well, there's been evidence that proves the opposite. In fact, I recall several newspapers that showed that not just that the election cannot be hacked, as you saw from CNN, but also that there was actual newspapers that said that there was no evidence that showed that Donald Trump was colluding with the Russians. And this was during the time of the 2016 presidential election. Now, for why the reason why I think this is relevant is Styx Hexenhammer actually made this theory that it's actually Trump playing a version of 4D chess, and I would have to say that would be correct. I don't. Mo- he didn't really state his. I don't think he really states what might be the intentions of Trump actually leaking the leaking this info um just to prove this. But here's why here's why I think this is not just about trolling the media, although it is a big part of it. Let's admit. This is actually to gain some credibility. As long as everybody from the Democrats to the media um to a lot of other groups continue to push this narrative that Donald Trump is colluding with the Russians, he's actually going to get more credibility, as it shows that these accusations are completely false, and it completely undermines the mainstream media's um ability to not only tell the news but also to be credible. And this includes with going with the DNC as well. When the Democrats lose credibility, that would mean that the public would no longer have favorable trust in them, because they don't really have um the ability to tell the truth. So in the long term, I think that this is actually going to help Trump if this theory turns out to be correct. Um, if and the reason why the reason why I say that is um as Donald Trump gets credibility, he might actually get things done. I'm not saying that he hasn't already. I mean, he has got a lot of executive orders already in place, especially with the religious liberty executive order that he signed a few weeks ago. But there has been a lot of problems in terms of trying to get him to build the wall, to work on the immigration ban, despite the fact that a lot of those things are actually constitutional and within his power. So this is actually this is the long term goal which he's planning to do, which is supposed to help him uh push his agenda forward in DC. In a way, this is kind of reminds me of a Star Wars character that you probably might have heard before, Admiral Thrawn. Admiral Thrawn was a genius. He pretty much, even when he had some small defeats, all of it was planned for one thing and one thing only: to root out the rebels and destroy them completely. And that was his long-term goal. And if you guys saw Star Wars Rebels, he was nearly close to doing something like that. This is the same thing that's kind of happening here. Imagine Trump as Admiral Thrawn and the Democrats as the rebels. Although I admit it's not a very it's not really good at mixing them all together, because that would make it look like that Trump is a fascist and the Democrats are the rebels, which is completely not true, by the way. Trump is not a fascist. But again, this is the long-term path that he's planning to get in order to build his credibility and to push his agenda forward, so that it benefits the entire country. Now, on another note, also from Sticks, Hex, and Hammer, I also saw that Hillary Clinton is actually becoming the new personality or symbol or leader of hold on, let's say what? Give me a second. Let me look this up here. It's the Onward Together resistance. Yeah, the Onward Together resistance. This is just all that it is just an extension of her campaign. I cannot stand this woman. I don't know how much to stress that out. And I'm not gonna just say that she lost because she considered herself entitled to it, because although that was the case, she was also ineffective in campaigning herself. And this is her whole ineffective her whole ability to campaign is being shown even here. She wants to make this into the anti-establishment, making Trump look like he's part of the establishment, while she, a 70-year-old politician who spent 3 decades in office as part of the anti-establishment. Really? I mean, come on. I can easily tell who the establishment candidate is and who is not. And this is after the 2016 election. When Hillary Clinton is doing something like this, it's shown that she hasn't learned a thing about the fact that she's unpopular and the Democrats are unpopular, and so on and so forth. She still doesn't get why she lost. But again, the reason why she lost was her ineffectiveness of campaigning. She didn't really go to Michigan, she didn't go to Wisconsin, all those other places that eventually Trump won, which is a very big deal because those have been very blue states. The reason this is not going to work is because she doesn't really know our generation, and Trump does. Here's the thing. When Donald Trump was running for president of the United States, everyone knew that the mainstream media did not like him, and they gave him a 1% chance of actually becoming president. 1%. And Hillary Clinton, a longtime politician, and a woman who was connected to a lot of bankers in Wall Street and a lot of other elites, was expected to get it because, hey, she's elite. But here's something that Trump did. He went over to the actual places where the common men and women of the United States were being affected. This includes places like Detroit, Cleveland, Ohio, Pennsylvania. You get the idea. That's how Trump won the election, because he connected and actually bonded with these people. He actually saw what they were dealing with. Hillary Clinton did not do that. And this is the same cycle that is repeating over again with this so-called resistance movement. Obviously, she is still out of touch. She thinks that a lot of stuff that was reported during the election was fake news, and she also even stated that she called half of America deplorables. Seriously, half of America? I can't believe she actually said that. I mean, I admit you can have a different opinion, but to be calling half of a country deplorables, makes you become so out of touch with the common people, because a lot of people have different political opinions, and they have a different mindset and different experiences. If a Wall Street banker were to think that he knows what I'm going through, he would probably not, because Wall Street bankers tend to have a lot of money. I'm just the middle class man who is going into community college and has to pay a lot of money. Usually, I do it out of my own pocket. I don't really use financial aid, although it is available for me. Excuse me, hold on. Okay, better. But that's the point I'm saying. This whole resistance movement is outdated. This has nothing to do with present day men and women who are being affected by what's going on in the world. That is why Hillary Clinton will not win, and the resistance will not be successful, and will not be seen as an anti-establishment movement. It just won't. And I'm kind of glad too, because really, I can't stand Hillary Clinton. She's been in politics for way too long, and I think a lot of Americans agree with me that she should just get out. Alright, that's all I have for today. It is May 15, 2017. Post your comments below, give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. Alright, thanks.